Good habits require a steady foundation. That's why MitoPure supports your health at the foundational level by encouraging cellular renewal. It promotes a cellular cleanup process that clears out dysfunctional, and we don't like dysfunctional, mitochondria. If you want to live a long and healthy life, it all starts with your cells.
Right now, Timeline is offering 10% off your order of MitoPure. Go to timeline.com/tactful. That's TIMELINE.com/tactful.
Hello, everyone. My name is Andrew Chappelle.
And my name is Cody Rigsby.
And if you are the pop princess of our dreams, this is your weekly episode of Tactful Pettiness. Today is a very special day. It is a day that we here at Tactful Pettiness have been looking forward to since we started the podcast in June. I have with me the preeminent force and all-knowing entity of things that regard to Britney Spears. Britney Jean Spears?
Britney Jean Spears.
Britney Jean Spears. So today, we are doing part one of a two-part series that is all about Britney Jean Spears. We are getting into the performances, the music videos, the complications in her personal life, children, family, boyfriends. We're getting into all of it. So I introduce you to Cody Wyatt Rigsby.
Oh, full name.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me on the podcast.
What an amazing booking. It
Thank
took
you
months
so
to schedule.
much.
Yes, the
I have a busy
scheduling.
schedule. Thanks for having me. First time on the pod.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yeah, friends, we are doing a Britney Spears episode. As you all know, I am a big fan of Britney Spears. She is in the foreword of my book.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to
our Lord and Savior,
Britney
Jean Spears.
Well, it's thank you to your
G-string.
your diamond encrusted
G-string.
G-strings and gyrating hips. I
Yep.
wouldn't be the man I am. Sada. Anyways,
Buy the book, by the way.
buy the book. XOXO Cody, thank you so much. Or The Woman in Me.
Either will work.
Also a fantastic book, which I did the audio version with Michelle Williams. I didn't read the actual book.
Oh, okay, yes.
Britney Spears book.
Yes.
But actually, I know this is a side note. I just saw a video on TikTok where it was Michelle Williams meeting Michelle Williams.
You took the words out of my mouth. Yeah.
The
two Michelle Williams have met. They are not the same person.
They're not the same person.
We have video footage of the two of them in the same room.
Because sometimes you need clarity.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Yeah.
The Destiny's Child one or the
Oh,
blonde
okay.
actress?
It took me so long to
Yeah,
understand.
okay, it's okay. But we're not here to talk about them. We're here to talk about Britney Spears.
Start
Actually,
from
I
the
didn't know
beginning.
this.
Yeah.
Born in Mississippi, but raised in Kentwood, Louisiana.
Yes. I have her in the reference I have is Louisiana.
Louisiana always. And there's something about, this is what I've seen on the internet. There's something about white people from Louisiana. They just like get it. You know what I'm saying? Like they got the rhythm, they got the beat. I think it's the music that they listen to, you know?
Well, it kind of gives the same vibe as like when people forever said that Bill Clinton was the first black president. You know, like there is something from like the South and like there's a je ne sais quoi, you know?
For sure.
An understanding of the culture.
I've actually never been to Louisiana.
Really?
No, never been to Mardi Gras, none of that.
We do need to go to New Orleans.
I do want to go. I do want to. That's for another day. But I remember discovering Britney Spears at probably the age of like 11 or 12. And I remember going into the Guilford Middle School gymnasium.
Okay.
And it was the middle school dance. And on the screen was the Baby One More Time video. And I was just encaptured. Like I just was like just so blown away by what was happening in front of me.
It was everywhere. It was everywhere.
It was incredible. What a song. That is an incredible intro song to the world.
Which, correct me if I'm wrong, was this song supposed to be TLC's?
I believe it was supposed to
and
be
they turned it
TLC's,
down, but
and
you
they
can
turned it
totally
down.
hear them TLC singing it, you know, when you listen to it.
Yes. And thankfully they did pass on it. Because sometimes there's songs that artists pass on and it wasn't meant for them. It truly wasn't meant for them. And this is one of them.
I think the thing that has always really enamored me, like, or why Britney Spears has enamored me, is how flawlessly she was packaged at the beginning. Everything matched. You know, everything was just like, she's the girl next door, but she's got a little bit of a naughty side. Like, you know, like, and it all kind of felt like accessible, but also risque.
Yeah,
It was
that
like-
was the perfect
both.
balance of Britney Spears. She was the girl next door, but she, everybody wanted to fuck her. Let's be honest.
Her sitting on the floor and crossed legs, like looking up.
That's kind of part of the purity culture of it
Yeah.
all, and we did her dirty with that at a very young age.
Big time.
People were asking her if she was going to wait till she was married. That was inappropriate.
That's
I mean, they
not
were
a very-
asking
yeah.
Jessica Simpson the same thing, and it was wildly inappropriate to be asking a 16, 17, or even an 18-year-old.
Well, listen, all those interviews, when you look back, like when you look at her interview with Diane Sawyer, and like there's a lot of moments where you're like, wow, you kind of almost wish you could jump through the screen now.
Of course.
And like stop the interview and be like, don't do this. Like, don't do this to her. Because, the thing that I respect about artists like Britney Spears and Whitney Houston, like people that were like really, really, really big, and they had to kind of wade through the industry before we have all these safeguards now,
Yeah.
and not the music industry.
And that's why we should give Britney Spears a lot of grace, because
Gotta give her some grace.
The media has been aiming for her since she came on the scene,
Correct.
and it never stopped throughout her entire career.
Correct.
And I feel like I want to save my because
Yeah.
I don't like the question of like what is going on with Britney.
Mm.
Like, are you dumb?
Yeah.
Are you dumb?
You know what I think would be best is if we started with like
The
the
celebration.
good time.
With a celebration.
Because there's always plenty to go but like there's so many exciting, amazing things about her, especially at the beginning.
Of course.
Like I remember coming to New York, and the first CD I ever bought was
Maybe one more time, or a single.
It was a Britney Spears single.
Ah.
And I always remember I bought it on 8th Avenue by Port Authority and like some random no. I got my
Virgin Megastore?
I got it at Virgin Megastore, but I bought my CD player, my Walkman on 8th Avenue near Port Authority from like one of those hole in the wall places.
Ah.
And I remember listening to Britney Spears and just being like, it doesn't get any better. I knew as a child it was never going to get any better than that.
Oh, I remember my mom, coming home from school and sitting next to my little red boombox was a copy of the Baby One More Time album. And then I was obsessed with it. My only disappointment was that when I got the CD and went to go play Crazy, it was not the remix version of the song. It was the original song of Crazy, which, if you know the iconic video from the movie with, oh my God,
Melissa Joan Hart,
who was in the Crazy video, it's a different song, the Crazy remix.
Well, and why I'm super like married to Crazy is because they did a whole making of the video for Crazy.
Oh my God.
Bring back making the video.
Oh my God, there
love
was
that.
nothing better than waiting up and like watching the making of a video of a Britney Spears song. I remember Lucky as one of the making the videos. It was so iconic. There was something about like watching the video come to life, and then finally at the end of the show, you got to see the finished product.
They made us work for those videos.
They made you work for it.
Because there were moments in the episode I remember being like, they're not going to get there. They're not going to finish the video. There's no way.
I believe that was probably on purpose.
Of course.
But
also, can we
always
talk about the
did.
budget? I mean, like, the budget for the Crazy video, like, and maybe you know why, but like, why does she start that video off as a waitress?
Oh.
I have no idea.
She starts the video off as a waitress, and there's like a kind of like a whole like waitress, like 1950s theme, and Melissa Joan Hart has like a milkshake, but then she takes the costume off, and
It's also in a warehouse, and then they're just breaking it down into a video. Yeah, I don't know why.
But you know what I also miss about this era is it's okay if the music videos didn't make sense.
Of course.
These are concepts of
Concepts of ideas.
Concepts of a plan.
Yeah, so they'd be
Concepts of
like,
a plan.
They'd be like, okay, so you're in a field and you're running and there's flowers. And she's like, okay. And
Yeah,
then it's like,
that makes
and now
sense.
you're in a dungeon. And she's like, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's go there.
Were you a Mickey Mouse Club girl?
So, let's always remember that I was too poor for Disney Channel. So this was before my time, and I believe the Mickey Mouse Club was more so in like early 90s,
Yeah.
late
Yeah.
80s, or like early 90s. So I never remember that era of like.
Well, I just
Disney
learned
Channel.
in real time that's where she met Justin Timberlake.
Wait,
Yeah.
duh.
Not duh. Girl.
Ren, duh.
And Christina-
What are you
and-
talking
I wasn't
about?
alive.
And
not
Christina
duh.
Aguilera.
She.
And Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
And Ryan
Oh my
Gosling, yeah.
God. Yes.
I'm
this
learning.
is just
This
like
is
basic
educational.
information of history, Ren.
These are literally
This isn't history, babe.
These are
Yes,
literally
it is.
questions they ask people for their green cards to get into this country.
Where
Like,
did Britney
people
This is
know.
what
Spears meet
you are
Justin
learning.
It's very
Timberlake?
important
The Mickey Mouse
information.
Club. Yes, they
Very
were all
important.
forced into child labor to sing and dance and become megastars.
By the way, honey, this is a side note, but Christina Aguilera was singing down as a little girl.
On that show?
Baby,
Well, wait a minute.
look
let's-
online.
Not too much on my girl, because if Britney Spears was also a good vocalist as a child. Okay.
Okay,
She
so
was a good vocalist.
but here's the thing, and
Britney Spears is just an alto. She doesn't have as much of a range. She has a deeper voice. Okay.
you don't even know what I'm about to say.
So please say it.
I
Just say it.
was watching some live performances of her today.
Okay. Thank you.
And I concur. She can sing.
She can sing.
She just, her voice is so affected. It's so affected for the studio.
But that's the beauty of her music.
No, yeah,
is
no.
that they're toying with
But
the
she was
sound
singing live. She was singing.
and mixing it all together.
no.
But in those, especially the first album,
Yeah.
she was singing.
Yeah.
She was singing.
Yeah, she was singing. And like there were a lot of times when she would do her live performance, she was singing live and it sounded good.
And let me tell you something. The microphone was never on, and I don't care.
Definitely not
Yeah.
The microphone was
for
not
many
on.
years. Yeah.
The backtrack was playing, and I didn't care. Because show me someone who can do all that dancing and sing the song at the same time.
Mhm.
Who?
No, I'm saying like this is the whole thing with the modern influences, but I agree with you. I don't think anyone's doing that.
I think the only literally person I can think of is Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Oh, I was
The
thinking
literally only
the
person I
Tate
can think
the Tate McRae
Tate
girls
McRae
are.
can't sing either.
She's pretty good.
She's fine. She's fine.
But I
Not that
will
she
s-
can't sing, it's fine. It's more of a speaking, singing thing.
Yeah, it's
and
singing
that's
in
fine.
cursive.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, it's a different type of music. I wouldn't even put. It's to me that's just like a whole other.
Well, I was saying to Cody, this is like a little sad, but when he would show me videos, because I missed all of this, it was kind of sad. I was like, I never experienced someone like this, like ever. Like we don't have
A
this.
pop princess.
But like
There's
who
no
could
thi-
move
there's
like
no
that
such
and
thing as a
perform like
proper
that?
pop princess. The thing about the beauty of like pop music of this era, and especially Britney Spears, it was the pre-digital. So we had such more limited access to our
Yes.
celebrities.
Yeah.
And I think that's why things like making the video, Diary, Britney Spears,
TRL.
TRL was
Any interview.
so just like energizing, and it gave you these small clips of a celebrity like Britney Spears, and you got to just get a glimpse of it, and it always left you wanting more.
Give me
Well,
more.
give me more.
But it also did something else, which isn't great, and this is all the Whitney Houston syndrome too. But it allowed the people that were packaging these artists
to control a lot of what's going on.
control who they were. Like we don't know if that's actually who she was. That's who the label told her. Okay, this is how you answer questions. You smile. Okay, you laugh. You know, like they gave them the media training.
Yeah. But
to-
she was also so good at like, there was something about like watching her behind the scenes or do interviews that she was just like so natural and captivating. And it was like just that girl next door that you wanted to get to know.
Yeah.
But then would go on the stage and absolutely slay
Tear
it
it up.
down. I mean,
Yeah.
let's not forget, Britney Spears really started in a mall tour.
Okay, wait. I just was about to ask you to tell me about the mall situation because Gaga to me is the last person that did the mall.
Did she do a mall tour?
Well, she did like
She
you
did,
know
like,
in
clubs.
parking lots and shit.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about a proper mall
she did a
tour.
Mall tour.
Mall tour, like she had a big like Tommy Hilfiger jacket. She would take it off. She would do the same Baby One More Time dance. She had like our two dancers. Why? Look up Britney Spears dancer like Espinoza. There was this gay that she was always dancing with. He's in the Sometimes video.
TJ Espinoza.
Who?
TJ.
TJ Espinoza. If you saw TJ's face, you'd be like, oh yeah,
And
he's
she
in every
brought
video.
him with her.
He was on the mall tour. Like he was with her for a very, very long time. But she started as a mall tour. She was out there trying to sell the Baby One More Time record. And that performance is iconic.
So was this before she got a record deal? Like was she
that
doing
I'm not,
that?
I'm not sure. I think this was, but I
It
think
says
it was
it's
before.
when she signed with Jive
yeah, like
Records.
like Jive was putting her out there.
Great. So they were like testing
the
the
video
market.
is really when it popped off.
They're
and
testing the
that
market.
song really got her to where she
So
was.
they're like, we're about to play this song at the West Side Pavilion. we're going to get the kids to enjoy the song. Then we're going to drop the video and the kids are going to recognize the song from the girl in the mall that they saw.
Yes.
Wow.
But it also says this is when like the really inappropriate interviews started and she was 15, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That's
Yeah.
so
That's
young
so
to be
crazy.
But like,
sexualized.
that was absolutely the era. Like,
But let's not get it twisted. Her body was ideal. There was nobody hotter than Britney Spears in that era.
and this
the
is
waist,
this is a problem with
The
our
waist,
culture.
the hips, the boobs.
This is a problem with our culture that a 15-year-old's body
I
is
know. This is the problem.
This is a problem.
They always tried to say that her boobs were fake.
Mm.
They always, and actually one of my favorite appearances of her is when she's on SNL and
Okay.
she's doing the monologue.
Mm-hmm.
And during the monologue, she's like, why does everyone think, like, everyone has these speculations that my boobs are fake? And then they put like mechanics in her
Mhm.
bra and they like start moving.
Mhm.
And it's so funny to me. Like she was good about being on the joke,
Yeah.
even when it was
She's
wildly inappropriate.
Really, yeah, and this is the thing I miss about her now. I know we're talking about her now, but like, is her ability to be in on the joke on her? Like she
Not anymore.
Like she
Not
was
anymore.
so cheap. She was really cheeky
Very
about
cheeky
it.
about it.
She
Very,
was-
very cheeky about it.
She was like, she took the piss out of it herself because she was like, you know what? People are saying all this shit. Like, she knows she didn't get the boob job.
Yeah.
Like, when would she have done it? She was on the mall tour.
She was 15.
When would she have done that? No,
Yeah.
honey, I'm from LA. I know girls that got boob jobs when they were 15. They got it. They got there for their 16th birthday.
I guess
Period.
tough but fair.
Oh my gosh.
Tough but fair.
Yeah.
Listen, Cody, we live life hard. We're creative, we're on the go, we travel, and you know, that does make our clothes, they get a little wear and tear on them, right?
They sure do. That's why we need to like freshen it up from time to time.
You gotta freshen it up. You know, we've told our audience about Quince before. I've told you about it too, but how much I just love this website and this brand. I find pieces that not only do I love, but they also last. And they become some of my favorite pieces. They have suitcases.
Oh, as someone who travels a lot, I kind of run through suitcases. I'm going to be
Mhm.
honest. They get beat up.
They've got a lot of great stuff for traveling. So 'cause
Save your money on the luggage so you can spend it on the vacation.
their pieces are the first thing you'll reach for in your closet. Lightweight, comfortable, and always on point.
I know
And
that's right.
We like to be on point.
All day, every day.
Quince has all the things you actually want to wear, like organic cotton silk polos, European linen beach shorts, and comfortable pants that work for everything from backyard hangs to nice dinners.
It's breathable material that's very, very chic.
And perfect for the upcoming months that are upon
Yes,
us.
of travel and being on the beach.
Everything with Quince is priced 50 to 80% less than what you find at similar brands.
And Andrew, Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes.
Just what we deserve. Elevate your closet with Quince. Go to quince.com/pettiness for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/pettiness to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/pettiness. Homes.com knows that when it comes to home shopping, it's never just about the house or condo. It's about the home. And what makes a home is more than just the house or property. It's the location and neighborhood. If you have kids, it's also about schools, nearby parks, and transportation options. That's why Homes.com goes above and beyond to bring home shoppers the in-depth information they need to find the right home. And when I say in-depth, I'm talking deep. Each listing features comprehensive information about the neighborhood, complete with a video guide. They also have details about local schools with test scores, state rankings, and student-to-teacher ratio. They even have an agent directory with the sales history of each agent. So when it comes to finding a home, not just a house, this is everything you need to know all in one place. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
So when did things really start popping?
I mean, I think just being in the zeitgeist of the MTV era
Yes.
is really what really popped off for Britney Spears. I mean, I remember the first VMA performance of Baby One More Time when they are in a schoolroom and they're doing an attendance thing and they're like, Britney Spears over here, where? Over here.
Yes.
Boom, boom, here, da, da, da. Like that really popped off for me. Her spray tan was fantastic. The extensions were in, baby, and she was hitting the step, and that was a performance with NSYNC. So that was the prelude to the Justin Timberlake romance. I don't think it was happening at that point, but that was like the setup because they were in the same circles.
And, you know, that romance made a lot of sense to everybody because, you know, if you really reflect on it, they have known each other since Mickey Mouse Club. They were kids together.
Yeah.
And then if you get to this level of fame, you're like, who knows me? You know, who really knows me?
I'm sure they were very special in each other's heart, but it was also a manufactured kind of love that was also real, but
yeah, I bet that felt really nice. When it was good, I bet it was really good.
Well, I think like when I think of like the most ideal pop pop relationship,
Yeah.
I think of just how warm and
They
fuzzy
look
that makes
so
me feel.
hot.
Who, Britney?
I'm just admiring how hot they actually look together.
They were so
I'm not a Justin girl, but like
they
in
were
this
so
era, it
hot
looks good.
together. That's undeniable.
That was the whole thing.
It kind of gives siblings, like, you know, when like boyfriend,
Yeah.
girlfriend siblings,
Oh,
like it's like you
sure.
guys look like you could be siblings. Like
Sure.
it's very hot. They were both great performers. They were both at the top, like rising in their careers. Like that was an unstoppable duo. An unstoppable duo. And then to go on the red carpet with a denim on denim look. Iconic. That's iconic.
Those outfits were so funny.
Like iconic.
Because we fawned over those outfits.
Because you only had so little access to it. You
Yeah.
couldn't go on Instagram and look at every different angle. You got one picture and that's all you got.
Yep.
And let's not forget of the VMA performances, there was something that changed in my body chemistry when watching the Oops, I Did It Again performance from the VMAs. Wow, are you blanking here? She comes out in a fedora and a suit. She does No Satisfaction, a cover of the Rolling Stones song.
I know.
She then pulls off the suit and is in a bedazzled bikini and flared pant with just a little bit, maybe a lot, of her G-string showing.
Yep.
Gives the performance of
That was an incredible performance.
Time. Like she knows that she knows that she slayed that. It was in her eyes. There was a devilishness behind her eyes where she was like, I know I fucking slayed that to the ground.
Yeah. I just like, there was something about that time, and I know our listeners will identify with this, but I remember every time Britney Spears came out with any new media, a new music video, a new song, a new performance, everybody was talking about it at school.
Everybody was talking about it
at school. Everybody was trying to figure out how to watch it at school because like we didn't have computers.
The way that I would rush home after middle school to go watch TRL.
Correct.
To watch the video and see who, like, I wanted that. When you couldn't get the single, you would sit by the radio
and record it
with a tape.
Yep.
And they would still steal from you some of the song because like you weren't getting it all for free.
Yeah. And then you would play the tape on your voicemail as your voicemail.
I feel like that was a little bit later in life, but yes. I also remember very specifically listening to the Oops, I Did It Again album on a Sony Walkman. Like I would play that while rollerblading outside.
Music sounded different on a Walkman.
Oof.
And I don't mean different
CD,
worse. I mean like
quality.
different better.
Yeah, it was quality.
There was something about having the music not like in your ear. Like it was on your ear. It was like on your ear. And I don't know, maybe it was just because I was a kid, but I felt like my imagination took hold a little bit more.
Possibly.
I wasn't paying any bills or worrying, so maybe that's what it was. I was just like, oh, I'm listening to music. Like, that's probably
fair enough.
That's probably
Andrew,
what it was.
Can you just move the doll over? It just looks weird to even it out. See how Cody's is? Yeah, thank you.
Yes, okay. No, well, why don't you tell us about these dolls?
Oh, okay. I want everyone to know that I do have these Britney Spears Funko Pops and an original Britney Spears doll from the Sometimes era.
That's an amazing video.
Where Britney Spears dances on, I think, the Venice Beach pier. I don't know if it's the Venice Beach one, but it's on a pier.
Yeah.
And it is also a video where you can see one of her dancers scratching her coochie.
Oh, no.
Wait, you talked about this and I then had to look it up to believe it, but it is true.
We got to get Vagisil as a sponsor.
Yes, please.
It's quite literally
like
what he described.
Behind Britney Spears' head is a dancer's like crotch.
Yeah.
And said dancer is like scratching her vagine. Now, said dancer, I don't know her name, said that wasn't the case. She said that was a lie. But you can see it with your own God-given eyes.
Yeah, I'm like my eyes.
Someone was scratching their hoo-ha.
Between them down there.
Between them down there.
What era is this Britney Spears?
This is Slave for You, baby. This is the snake from the VMA performance.
Baby,
Hello.
the slave for you. Okay, wait. Pause. We got to talk about Tyla. At this Coachella, okay, she wore a Britney Spears costume to her Coachella performance, and when people tweeted at her about it, she said it wasn't an homage. And that really makes me upset because I'm like,
Tyla, girl, just take the compliment.
This is like the second strike for me with her. Because she did
there's something else, but I don't know what it was.
Oh, she handed her award off to, I forget, there was somebody who gave her an award show, and she just like handed it to them.
Damn.
It
is
the woman came forward and said her hands were cold, so she was warming them up.
Warmed them up in her vagina,
in her loving oven.
That's what she said. She said she would have no problem calling it out if it were true, but her hands were cold, so she was warming them up.
So I'm gonna have to. What is that?
I'm gonna have to.
But why isn't it? How do you warm your hands up in a scratching motion?
That's called friction.
She said my hands were cold was keeping warm. But if I was scratching, I'd say so. I have zero issues calling myself out, and that's her truth.
Okay. Well, God bless.
Yeah.
I saw what I saw, and you said what you said, and.
But okay, so if I'm Tyla and I didn't know that the outfit that they gave me was
how do you
Spears,
not? Well, you just didn't know that this was an iconic.
Well, I couldn't see it. My eyesight is bad. But like if they had given me the outfit and I truly didn't know, because let's just put all the cards on the table.
Girl.
The new generation don't like to do their research.
Even I knew what that was.
The new generation don't like to do their research. The new generation.
She grew up in South Africa. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But
okay.
like, come on.
But then if somebody brings it to your attention with the side by side.
Yeah.
Time to be like, ooh.
The only difference was like the red eye, but whatever. Congratulations, Tyla. You don't know your references.
Because Tate did it and said, right? Like, this is Britney.
Well, so Tate did, there was a lacy dress moment that was very Britney Spears coded. And I don't know if she confirmed, but it was very Britney Spears coded on that one.
Putting some respect on her name.
Okay.
One thing let's actually take it to the VMA performance of Slave for You.
Okay. Wow.
Babe.
Wow.
You first of all, the choreography, precise, hot, sexy. You did a live performance with a packed audience. Where's that?
Radio City?
Radio City Music Hall. And you had a live snake. I don't know about you, but I am terrified of snakes. I'm not touching a. I was upstate last weekend, and a small garden snake whizzed by me, and I scrumped us and screamed. You mean you have a python on your shoulders?
Yeah.
I scrumped and screamed is hilarious. I scrumped and screamed.
Oh, he scrumped.
I was terrified.
Cody would not be holding a snake.
You put a snake on your shoulders with loud music, people reaching and all over the place to distract and make the snake angry. And you've got on your shoulders, you're flipping it around. The head is in your face. You are lip syncing, not singing, but that's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay. And you got through that performance, the anxiety that I would have. And to do these performances flawlessly. Every step.
She didn't miss a beat.
Didn't miss a step.
And also in her face, she's such a professional. I watched a lot of her this morning, but even because we've had to do different formations and dances in our careers, right?
Sure, yeah.
So there's something that happens when you are performing and the lights are on. You're still, because Britney Spears, to her credit, is doing the same dance, but different versions of it and different cuts. Time. So like, in her head, there are 32 different versions of this dance, of this song, right? Mm-hmm. She's performing in Dubai tonight, Paris tomorrow, Houston, Texas on Friday. Like, there's a lot of versions going on. And she was so good about smiling and being in the moment and making us feel like she was enjoying it.
Being sexy, being hot.
I don't know if she was enjoying it, but she looked like she was enjoying it.
There's something, this is my problem with like the new generation and artists that are more dancers, and I will use Tate McRae as an example. Okay. The facials aren't there. Mm-hmm. There's not a seduction in the eyes. There's not a confidence in the face of knowing that you are owning the stage, you are owning the moment, you are that girl, you are that bitch, like you are eating down.
Do you know what
there's
I think?
There's nobody doing it like that.
Here's the difference. Because I slightly disagree with Tate and some of these girls, because I do think that they are giving something with their face.
No, it's lazy.
Here's the issue. As a culture, as a society, particularly as it pertains to pop culture, music, and that, like, age bracket of like that 16 to 24 group, their whole thing is like, I don't want to try. Like it's that nonchalant. And I want
to be chalant.
I need y'all to be chalant.
I need you to be
Turn
chalant.
up the chalant.
Please turn up the chalant.
Turn up the chalant.
Because I think that's what makes Janet Jackson, Britney Spears, Cher, these performers where you're just like, whoa. When Cher goes like this.
My instinct
We're paying
is
attention.
Britney, when I watch her, like the wow for me is like, not only is she that girl, but you want to be her, you want to be with her. She like owns that sexual side, which I feel like because then she was so sexualized, these modern girls, it's a confidence, but it's not like I know you want this. It's not the same to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a girl boss of like, I'm that bitch, but it's not like, and you want to hook up with me. And like Britney's face, it's this like sexual.
She knew people wanted to hook up with her.
Which is so cool.
The
and I think it's
boys,
amazing.
all they could talk about
and
was
that's like
Britney
the difference
Spears.
to me. It's like, it's like a confidence, but it's not the same.
Yeah. I mean, it was also just a special era in music, period. I mean, we did a whole thing about girl groups and Spice Girls and boy bands. Like, it just was an exciting time in music. It just, that full stop.
Period.
And it's just a whole different thing. It wasn't as accessible. We had a limited amount of music and you were fed this specific pop star. Because let me tell you, when Britney Spears came on the set, every other record label outside of Jive was trying to have their version of Britney Spears, whether that be Jessica Simpson, Christina Aguilera, Willa Ford, I Want to Be Bad, Thank You So Much. Do you remember the song? No. Okay, wow. I Want to Be Bad, Willa Ford. Okay.
Also, like, hate to say, but like, not too much on my girls, but I love how like you wanted to be them and you couldn't. Like it wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't that
Not
relatable.
accessible.
It was not accessible to now the
Not
modern pop stars.
accessible.
Like I am her, and it's like no, this is Britney Spears. Like that's just
You could never.
We didn't have. We
Correct.
don't have.
Everyone was
that.
trying to replicate
Well,
it.
also because 13-year-olds look like Pepper Ann in this era. Now 13-year-olds look like Kim Kardashian somehow. Like they have the matting stuff on their skin and they do
Bring
their
back
hair.
natural beauty.
And they've got corsets on. And I'm like, why does this child have a corset on? Like this is ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like kids used to be able to be kids.
Yeah.
And, like I remember all the kids look crazy. The hair all over the place,
The
braces
contouring.
breathing through your mouth, headgear. I remember the kids, we looked a mess. Now these kids are all influencers.
Yeah.
What are y'all going to Sephora at 11 for?
Baby, I'll never forget
makeup.
when we went to Coachella that first time, the amount of because this was peak Hamilton, the amount of 13, 14, because I guess you can go if you're under. You just have
Yeah, Northwest just went. She's like
you
10.
can go.
She's
You can go when you're younger, but you just you can't drink, and there's
you have like a guardian or something.
There's something about it, and I was just like, I couldn't believe that these were kids. I was just like, this is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And honestly, Britney Spears might partially be to blame for that because
the influence.
Yeah, it's
But
like
I like
we're
how
paying the piper now.
I like how it wasn't accessible. Like I think that's so fun and fierce. Like that it's like she's just an A-list celebrity, like a pop star.
Truly.
And and she had so many iconic choreography moments, like dances that and wanted to learn. And I know a lot of them in the back of my head.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, in 5th grade end of the year test, I taught all of the little girls the Oops, I Did It Again dance. This
is important. This was your gay rite of passage. Yep. If you were gay, whether you were in the closet or not, you were learning the Oops, I Did It Again dance, and you were teaching it to the straight girls in your class that you thought you had a crush on, but you really just wanted to be. That is just a part of the road to being a homosexual.
Period.
Absolutely.
I'll never forget. I learned it with my 2 girlfriends, Amanda and Chanel, in their house in Marina Del Rey.
Exactly. Thank you.
We did the whole thing.
Andrew, listen, it's getting into summer. We've got busy lives. The social calendar is about to pick up. So it's really important that we feel healthy and second, be energized, babe. We got to feel healthy and energized. Social calendar full, work calendar full, and the sun is going to stay out longer. So we're going to be using that sun to do all the things we can. And importantly, good habits require a steady foundation. That's why MitoPure supports your health at the foundational level by encouraging cellular renewal. It promotes a cellular cleanup process that clears out dysfunctional, and we don't like dysfunctional, mitochondria. I learned that word from my science book.
Honey, we need our bodies to function so we can go to the function.
Thank you.
Okay? Because, and let me tell you something, and I have been just pulling all of the levers in my life recently. So I have really been leading on the MitoPure to get through these very long days where I need to have my brain sharp and body energized for all of these meetings. MitoPure is the only supplement on the market that is clinically proven to target the effects of age-related cellular decline. With regular use, you might notice improved energy levels, better workouts, faster recovery, and more endurance. Plus, MitoPure is shown to deliver increased muscle strength and endurance without a change in exercise.
Your body is a system. MitoPure recharges your cells to make sure your system is running smoothly. MitoPure is the research-backed innovation that unlocks your fullest potential. If you want to live a long and healthy life, it all starts with your cells. So in case you're asleep, awaken the strength, power, and resilience that's already in you with MitoPure.
Right now, Timeline is offering 10% off your order of MitoPure. Go to timeline.com/tactful. That's TIMELINE.com/tactful. Homes.com knows that when it comes to home shopping, it's never just about the house or condo. It's about the home. And what makes a home is more than just the house or property. It's the location and neighborhood. If you have kids, it's also about schools, nearby parks, and transportation options. That's why Homes.com goes above and beyond to bring home shoppers the in-depth information they need to find the right home. And when I say in-depth, I'm talking deep. Each listing features comprehensive information about the neighborhood, complete with a video guide. They also have details about local schools with test scores, state rankings, and student-to-teacher ratio. They even have an agent directory with the sales history of each agent. So when it comes to finding a home, not just a house, this is everything you need to know all in one place. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
Now, let's just come back to Justin Timberlake of it all.
Okay. Yeah.
And kind of get into the dating.
The romance.
Because if there's one place that Britney still hasn't mastered and had some failures and ups and downs, it is in her dating life.
Unlucky.
And I relate to that.
Yeah.
Unlucky. You know, unlucky.
Unlucky in love. Yeah.
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 Are you saying for Cody or for Britney?
Well, yeah.
Both.
Maybe that wait, hold on. That video or whatever y'all did for his page where you were like, you're a sex dating relationship
Oh, the
advisor.
severance, yeah.
And you can't keep a man.
I said,
Very fair.
she's reading my friend down.
Very, very fair. Yeah, she dated Justin Timberlake. It was the pinnacle of pop star perfection of dating. It was the couple that we all looked up to. We were so happy for them, but we had to know in the back of our mind that two 18-year-olds were not going to make it for the rest of their life. We
were so naive.
Let's just be honest.
It never even occurred to me. I thought they were going to grow old together.
Yeah. No. That's definitely not what's going to happen. And that's okay.
And so ultimately what led to their demise and also their continuation as these like fixtures in the pop community was this epic, what do they call it when someone cheats on someone?
Scandal,
yeah, where is this alleged or is this real now? Is this all
well,
out
it's in her book.
confirmed,
It's in her book.
yeah.
It's in her book.
Okay, so she cheated on him with Wade Robson. Or were they on a break and like she did it on the break or something?
I can't remember
it says they secretly hooked up while they were still together.
Yeah.
Well, because I remember, and this is even just me being a high schooler, I remember when the Slave for You music video came out, everyone was just like, yeah, Wade Robson and Britney Spears. I remember people talking.
How are these children knowing about what's going on?
Yeah, who knows? But I went to an arts high school, so maybe somebody's parent or something worked on set. But that's ultimately what led to the Justified album.
There is a song,
Cry Me a River.
Well, Cry Me a River came out and that's why
The More You Know?
That's why the figure in the video. Wow, she really doesn't.
You don't know. Cry Me a River is about Britney Spears cheating on him.
It's about Britney Spears cheating on him, and there is a figure in the video with like a fedora on that is supposed to represent Britney Spears. And Justin, of course, is trying to be the victim.
Girl.
Sure, girl.
Is that why he apologized
whatever.
later to her? Or that was something else?
But wait, he is the victim. He got cheated on. Did he do something? Maybe are we thinking that he cheated on her first?
I forget what's in the book.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I just don't find him to be the most reliable narrator, and I'll leave it there.
Okay. So maybe it was a tit for tat situation.
He also broke up with her via text message.
Yeah.
She also got her pregnant and
what?
did you not remember?
But wait, you guys, can we
he put in the request for her to have a termination of the pregnancy.
Oh.
That's what. And then he tried to sing to her after she had said procedure.
He was
in
singing
the bathroom.
Oh,
it's in the book.
I would have preferred.
He got out his guitar.
Don't put the guitar away.
But I also would.
This is a medical facility.
Listen, no, wait.
He tried to sing to her.
This is
and
also just
console
a
her.
PSA. Period. I don't want you singing to me with a guitar.
Stop singing.
No.
I don't
Stop
like
singing.
a straight man singing to me.
I don't want anybody singing
I
to
don't
me.
like this guitar culture. Where
No,
they're
Especially
like,
in a hospital, please.
But this
Put
is
the guitar
also
away.
big. This is a little bit of a sidebar, but this was really big when I first moved to New York. I felt like I always ended up at somebody's apartment and like there was a guy
playing a guitar.
looking just like
Oh,
that
I'm good.
with a guitar.
You can miss me with that. You can miss me with that.
Or like the guy when you go over to his apartment and the guitar is like placed so central, so you're gonna
so
have
he
to
knows,
comment on it.
He knows that he knows how to play acoustic guitar.
Mhm.
And if he, I don't want it.
We don't want
I don't
it.
want it.
Well, I'll say this, and this is kind of weird to say, but I do kind of wish that she had a child with Justin Timberlake. Because imagine that pop star of a child.
I'm good.
The trauma.
I'm good.
Because
I'm
Kevin
good.
Federline? Ugh.
Okay,
Talk about a dud.
Hot take.
Oh, no.
I did at the time really understand why Britney's. I thought Kevin was hot. I'm
Well,
gonna be honest.
He was that hot.
He
was
reminded me of the Trailer Park Trash that I had crushes on
Girl,
in
Who is Kevin?
Greensboro, North Carolina. Who's Kevin?
the father of her children.
The father of her two children.
The one that ultimately kind of led to the whole kerfuffle.
And was he famous?
He was a backup dancer.
Okay.
He was
and
he
not
was
too much on my
hot.
backup dancer girls.
He was hot in that way that like this is also the time like Ashton Kutcher was hot. Like he was like
Yeah.
like that tall guy that's like there.
And I may or may have not watched the scene from Dude, Where's My Car many times.
Is he in that?
No, baby, when Ashton
Oh,
Kutcher
Ashton
and
Kutcher.
what's his face are making out.
Oh yeah. I mean Ashton Kutcher's so cute.
So cute.
But Kevin Federline for my reference was always kind of the guy that everybody was like, really? That's who she's dating? Like I felt like he was like always a little mid for her.
No, everybody thought that. But
Yeah.
I'm saying like I understand from her perspective why she would have dated Kevin Federline. I think she likes a bad boy. I think she likes a little bit of trash. She is from Kentwood, Louisiana.
She wants her
did
Cheetos.
She did get married to Jason Alexander, not the guy from Seinfeld, for 54 hours
55
in Vegas.
hours.
55 hours
Yeah.
in Vegas.
Important to note that it's not him from
She
Seinfeld.
also had a fling with Colin Farrell
So cute.
in a very prime of his career.
He looks so hot in the
That was
pictures.
hot. They had a fling. They definitely bumped. I don't blame her.
Honey,
she's
Colin
hot. He's hot.
Farrell?
Yes, ma'am.
Lord
Thank
have
you.
mercy. That is a man.
Kevin Federline, you know, he was able to get 2 kids out of her and alimony and child support, and he's set for life. And I don't blame him in a way because I'm like, get your coin, but
So those are all of her liaisons.
up until
Oh yeah.
the blackout era, which we'll get into in the second episode.
In the second
But
installment.
Those are the majority of the entanglements.
I am
there.
surprised she dated Justin for 4 years. I didn't know that. That's a long time.
That's
Well, they were on the road a lot.
that's a
It was a long
very long
distance
time. That's a long
situation.
time.
It's a long time. Yeah, it's a very long time.
And I also feel like, you can kind of buy a lot of time with
Yeah,
the celebrity
because you guys
of it
are
all.
so
Yeah.
far away, and it was good. It
Yeah.
was great publicity.
Wait, maybe you know this, Cody. I'm sure you do. But what is the story behind the song "Lucky"? Isn't it like?
I don't think there's any story
cryptically-
behind it, but it's almost like foreshadowing.
Yeah, it's foreshadowing.
It's very much foreshadowing.
Because that is my favorite Britney Spears song.
That is so funny because it's my least favorite Britney. It's one of my least favorite
Really?
Britney Spears song. It's fine. It's just not. It's not something that I absolutely adore or love.
Yeah. So when I booked in Juliet and I was like looking at the
Y'all sing "Lucky" in there?
no,
Oh.
and I was furious. I literally got on the stage and says, "Why did Lucky not make it into the song in the show?"
Is it Max Martin?
I think it is.
I don't know if it's Max, but it probably is.
I think it is. But there were a lot of Britney Spears songs on that show.
Yeah, so she didn't have the greatest luck with guys, and I think that's been something. I think it's hard for her to date as a very famous, if one of the most famous people in the world.
Yeah.
Like everyone, she probably has a few daddy issues, like we all do. So I think she just always wanted. I think there's a part of her that loved being a pop star, and loved to perform, and she was really fucking good at it, and very proud of herself for
all
that.
she knew.
And all she knew. But I think also that Kentwood part of her, I think there was a desire for a simplicity in life, to be a wife, to be a mother, and almost like when going back to Kevin Federline, it felt like an escapism to her of like going back to the simplicity of like having a man and creating a family, even at a very like fairly young age for that. And I think she always like wanted that.
So like Justin represented this new flashy Hollywood version of herself that she didn't ever identify with.
Yes.
And Kevin identified the Louisiana, we're going to get a bag of chips and go on a walk to the down the bayou and get some crawfish at the corner store.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
I get that.
Lana Del Rey.
I
That's
forgot.
what she did. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she married.
Is she still married to that Gator
I think
man?
so. That Gator
girl's
man.
dad.
Yep. That girl's
She married
dad.
that girl's dad. Wait,
That girl's dad.
You know what? She married that girl's dad.
Wow.
And the girl was like, "Oh my god, like that's literally
My dad
Lana,
is married to Lana Del Rey.
Yeah, like she had a moment. But wait, something we haven't talked about that is in this early era, which this is iconic for so many reasons because this brand just knows how to grab the people. The Pepsi commercials.
Oh my God. My heart was
Good.
good. I mean, what? Wow. When I tell you that Britney Spears had me drinking Pepsi, I was drinking Pepsi because I was a Britney Spears fan and I thought Pepsi was delicious because Britney Spears represented the band. I downloaded the Britney Spears Pepsi song on Napster just so I could listen to it on a burnt CD in my car.
And honey, the way they ran that commercial,
that
commercial was
she had so many iconic Pepsi commercials. She had the one with Beyonce in pink.
Yep.
She had the one on the beach where she was doing all the different eras.
Yep.
Britney Spears was keeping Pepsi in
afloat
business.
Please explain the kiss to me.
Oh, I was going to get there.
Okay.
Well, I want everyone to just recognize that the headline was Madonna kisses Britney Spears. Lest we not forget, Madonna also kissed Christina Aguilera. But nobody cared.
The same night?
Yeah. In the same 3 seconds.
It was all three of them there.
Oh, they just erased her from the narrative?
No, here's what happens. So
this is important.
This is at the height of the breakup this is post breakup with Justin Timberlake. So he's actually in his like Crimea River era.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also why Britney Spears is showing out on stage with Madonna.
It's a great clip.
So Madonna comes out with Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera singing Like a Virgin. Britney Spears is in a wedding gown, a little wedding dress. So is Christina Aguilera. Christina Aguilera had a horrible hair choice. She went dark black at that point. It was not a good look for her. That's on a side note.
Was that dirty era?
Yeah. It was stripped.
Strip. Yeah.
In the performance, Madonna
is the groom.
First turn as the groom turns to Britney Spears and kisses Britney Spears first. She also turns to her other side and kisses Christina Aguilera. But the MTV Viacom Corporation, instead of showing Christina Aguilera, they show Justin Timberlake to get his response.
The reaction.
To get the reaction.
Wow.
And then they go back to, they showed a little bit of Christina, but not really.
Yeah.
That's why both of them were there. But we only remember Britney and Madonna doing the kiss.
There was also something about the way that they were sectioned on the stage. Like Britney and Madonna were physically closer, and I think that like after she kissed Christina might have like taken a step away. Like there's something that
I mean, you're being generous, but yeah.
Yeah, like there was something geographically different between the two.
For sure. But let's just be honest, it was about Britney Spears.
It was about Britney Spears.
But everyone forgets that Christina Aguilera also got kissed.
Well, and this is also like peak tabloid times. Like, you know, I feel like the tabloids now is just kind of something for people on reality shows to pretend like they're tormented by. But like, I feel like back then people really were tormented by the tabloids.
Yeah.
And they had to get that, you know, they had to get his reaction.
It was going to sell papers. It was going to sell cable subscriptions, of course.
Yes.
Do we want to?
Yeah. What's our final? Are
you going to speak on Crossroads?
Oh,
that movie I just learned about today.
Crossroads?
I would like the audience to know that Ren. This is a great segue, Ren. Ren asked me while doing the research for this episode, "What's Crossroads?" And
did you tell her the synopsis of the movie?
I threw a shoe at her face. That's why she has a black eye right now. I threw a shoe at her face and told her she was fired.
He was very upset.
Crossroads is a great piece of cinematic art.
The time capsule.
Time capsule. It was a film
Period piece.
starring Britney Spears, Zoe Saldana,
Yes.
and the late
Yeah, who was the other girl?
not Brittany Murphy.
Was it Brittany Murphy?
No, it wasn't Brittany
Was
Murphy.
this the one where one of them had cancer? Or is that something else? That's a walk to remember.
I think that's a walk.
Yeah.
To remember.
Yeah, it's a walk
The
to
third
remember.
girl, why I can't remember. But also, let's not forget.
Kim Cattrall.
Well, I was gonna say that Britney Spears' mother was played by Kim Cattrall at the end. No, there's a third girl. I can't remember who it was.
Adrian Bailon.
It says Zoe Manning.
Tara Manning.
Who is that?
Tara Manning. Not
That
late. I don't
Crossroads-
believe. I believe she's still alive. So
What was the lead single on Crossroads?
I'm not a girl, not yet a woman.
What is the
Yes.
plot?
Britney's like trying to find her mom.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not there for the storyline or the writing. I'm there for Britney Spears.
Well,
Which, by the way, I saw Stranger Things, and that is also the plot of Stranger Things. The girl is trying to find her mom.
The Broadway show.
That's how the Broadway
We can
show.
talk about that
So
later.
Yeah.
since I also don't know, am I giving Felicia or like what's that?
Oh yes.
Okay.
So-
we should end this episode talking about.
Well,
Felicia.
because we are talking about because I talked about SNL,
Yeah.
and we talked about Crossroads. Britney Spears is a fantastic actress. I'm gonna be honest. She's a fantastic actress. Are
Well.
you gonna deny that?
No, we
No.
were just before we even
Thank you.
rolled. We're
Because-
talking about.
Let's not forget that one of the most iconic Will and Grace episodes is the Britney Spears cameo, and there was no better like show to have celebrity cameos than Will and
Yes.
Grace. And the Britney Spears episode is so iconic. She's so good in that. The one-liners that she has is incredible. She came to play and she did it well.
It is a flawless comedic performance. The timing, no notes. It is a really great example of how in on the joke she is on herself. Like she's playing somebody else, but she's also like, she does the airy thing so well.
Yes. Well, she was kind of playing like an airy country conservative girl.
Mm-hmm.
Because the episode's all about how they're turning like Jack's very gay TV show into conservative propaganda
She's like, "No,
about
I'm
the
not doing that."
troops, and
Yeah.
she's a lesbian, but she's like not acting like it.
Go and watch it if you haven't seen it.
Truly iconic. If you haven't seen it, it's so good. Now Felicia
Mhm.
in the Britney Spears fandom is an iconic person because Felicia was Britney's assistant, especially during her younger ages and throughout the years. And she was just always there for a girl. She was sweet.
Aw.
She just was such a great assistant. I think in the conservatorship era, she did get fired at some point. She kind of came in and out of Britney's life.
Because there was a documentary.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they
and
interviewed her.
Yeah, and shout out to Felicia for always holding it down for
Okay,
her.
Well,
Come on,
because
Felicia.
Felicia was like Robin for Whitney. Like,
Yes.
like it was like that person that like got
always
them
grounded
there,
her, made
got
sure they
them
were
the
there.
water,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
listened to them, they cried to them, and it's like, and that's usually, and this is actually a really great way to in the episode because it's usually when those people that have that heart print on our beloved folks end up getting extracted that things go left.
They do go left.
Cliffhanger.
And that will be the ... to this episode as we will bring you Britney episode number 2, where we get a little bit more into the blackout era, a little bit of the chaos. Let's not forget, a still iconic VMA performance. Maybe iconic for the wrong reasons,
Forgive me
but
more?
iconic, yes.
Okay.
Still iconic.
Oh yeah.
And we will see you soon, Boos.
Bye.